The jet stream is about to make a significant shift. Multiple Arctic air masses heading south. Two separate winter storm systems developing. Some areas could see snowfall that hasn't happened in years. Let me walk you through what's developing and what it means for your area. This video runs about 14 minutes. First, I'll explain the overall pattern change. Then we'll look at the two storm systems individually. Finally, the specific impacts for different regions and what you need to prepare for. Right now, a storm system is moving through the southeast. Georgia, Alabama, northern Florida seeing some severe weather potential today. Nothing major, one or two tornado warnings in Mississippi yesterday, but overall this stayed pretty tame. That system moves offshore by Sunday. What matters is what comes after. The jet stream is going to reconfigure. Instead of staying flat across the country, it's going to dip deep out of northwest Canada, straight down through the central United States. That opens the door for Arctic air. Real Arctic air, not just chilly. We talking about temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below normal. First Arctic push arrives Sunday into Monday. Midwest Ohio Valley, parts of the southeast will feel it, but this is just the warm-up act. The main event comes midweek. By Wednesday and Thursday, the jet stream dips even further. Low pressure develops over the Great Lakes. High pressure sits over the West Coast. For those of you in California, Oregon, Washington, you get a break this week. Calmer conditions after all those atmospheric rivers in December and early January, but for the rest of the country, things get active. Let's talk about the first winter storm. Develops Tuesday into Wednesday. Snow for the Midwest and Great Lakes. Heavy at times. 6 to 12 inches possible across parts of Wisconsin, Michigan, northern Illinois. Interior Northeast could see 4 to 8 inches. This storm tracks northeast. Cold air wraps in behind it. Rapid temperature drops. If you are driving Interstate 90 or Interstate 80 during this period, conditions deteriorate quickly. Plan accordingly. Wednesday afternoon and evening look particularly problematic. The second storm is more complex and potentially more significant. Thursday into Friday, a new low-pressure system develops along a sharp temperature boundary. This one forms further south. The polar air mass pushing down from Canada meets moisture from the Gulf. When that happens, you get snow in places that don't usually see it. The models aren't in complete agreement yet. The European model shows the low tracking through Tennessee and Kentucky. The GFS model has it a bit further north through southern Ohio. That track makes all the difference between rain and snow for millions of people. If the European model is correct, parts of northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky could see accumulating snow. We're not talking about a dusting. We're talking about 2 to 4 inches, maybe more in some spots. That's rare for mid-January this far south. If the GFS is right, the heaviest snow stays further north. Southern Ohio, West Virginia, western Pennsylvania get the bulk of it. Still significant, 8 to 15 inches possible. By Friday, this storm intensifies as it moves up the coast. This is where a nor'easter could develop. Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine. You all want to watch this closely. If the storm tracks just right and the cold air holds, coastal New England could see heavy snow, 10 to 20 inches in some areas. The confidence level on the second storm is lower than the first. We still 4 to 5 days out. The models will get more consistent as we get closer. Check back for updates. Now let's break down what this means regionally. For the Gulf Coast, from Louisiana through the Florida Panhandle, this will be the coldest air you've seen all winter. Temperatures drop into the 20s and low 30s Wednesday night through Friday morning. Protect pipes, protect plants. If you have citrus crops, you know what to do. Hard freeze warnings will likely be issued. For the deep south, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, northern Georgia, the question is snow. It depends on that storm track. If you see snow, it won't last long. Temperatures moderate by Saturday, but Thursday night into Friday morning could be interesting. Have supplies ready just in case. Bread and milk jokes aside, if your area doesn't have snow removal equipment, even 2 inches creates problems. For Tennessee and Kentucky, similar situation. The Ohio Valley typically sees some winter weather, but this could be heavier than normal for mid-January. Lexington, Nashville, Knoxville should prepare for potential impacts Thursday and Friday. For the Midwest and Great Lakes, you are dealing with both storms. First one hits Wednesday. Brief break Thursday morning, second one arrives Thursday night. back-to-back systems. Snow removal crews will be busy. If you reshoveling, don't try to do everything at once. You've seen winters before. You know how this works. For the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic, Wednesday a storm brings some snow, mainly northern areas. The bigger question is Friday's system. If that low tracks up the coast, Maryland, Virginia, Delaware could see significant snow. Washington, D.C. area included. 6 to 12 inches possible if things align. We'll know more in a couple days. For the Northeast, both storms bring snow. Wednesday's system affects interior areas more. Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, sea accumulations. Friday's potential nor'easter is the one to watch for coastal areas. Boston, Portland, Providence. This pattern is classic for January. Cold air in place. Storm moving up the coast. Everything lines up. For the plain states, you get the cold but less snow from these particular systems. Temperatures tank Wednesday through Friday. Single digits, below zero at night in some spots. North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas. Wind chill values could hit 20 to 30 below zero. If you reworking outside, dress accordingly. For the West Coast, as I mentioned, you get a break. High pressure dominates, dry conditions, temperatures near normal or slightly above. After the relentless storms you've dealt with, this is welcomed news. Let's talk about timing more specifically. Sunday, current storm exits. Temperatures start dropping in the Midwest and Southeast. Monday, continued cooling. Nothing dramatic yet. Prepare supplies. Tuesday, cold air settles in. Snow develops Tuesday night in the upper Midwest. Wednesday, first winter storm impacts Midwest, Great Lakes, interior Northeast. Heavy snow midday through evening. Rapid temperature drops behind the system. Thursday, brief lull in the morning. Second storm develops by afternoon and evening. Track still uncertain. Friday, second storm intensifies. Heavy snow somewhere, either Tennessee Valley or Northeast Coast, possibly both. Saturday, storm exits. Cold air remains. Wind chills brutal across eastern two-thirds of the country. Now for practical considerations. If you have medical conditions affected by pressure changes, migraine sufferers especially, these rapid systems will trigger symptoms. Wednesday and Friday show the biggest pressure drops. Plan medication accordingly. If you are traveling this week, Wednesday and Friday are the days to avoid if possible. Interstate travel across the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Northeast will be significantly impacted. Check road conditions before leaving. Better yet, delay travel if you can. For those who plow or shovel snow, the back-to-back nature of these storms means you'll need to clear multiple times. Don't wait until everything is done. Clear what you can, rest, clear again. Livestock and outdoor animals need protection from this cold. Windbreaks, shelter, extra feed. You know your animals, you know what they need. Don't wait until Wednesday night. Power outages are possible, especially if we get heavy wet snow followed by strong winds. Have flashlights ready, batteries charged. If you use a generator, make sure it's in working order now, not when you need it. For those asking about specific cities, I can give exact amounts yet for the second storm. The track uncertainty is too high, but here's what I can say. If you're north of Interstate 40 and east of the Mississippi River, prepare for winter weather Thursday and Friday. How much depends on where that low tracks. Historical context helps here. This pattern is similar to January 2010. Remember that? Multiple Arctic blasts, storm systems riding the temperature boundary. The south saw rare snow, the northeast got hammered with nor'easters. This isn't identical, but it's the same family of pattern. January 2014, the polar vortex. That was colder but less snowy. This looks more active in terms of storm systems. The difference between this and normal winter weather is the jet stream configuration. When it dips this far south and stays there, you get repeated shots of cold air. Each one reinforces the last. Temperatures dawn to recover between systems. Some of you are dealing with that temperature whiplash. 60s earlier this week, 20s by next week. That is hard on the body. It is hard on infrastructure. Roads crack, pipes burst. Give yourself extra time for everything. Looking beyond this week, the pattern likely continues into late January. The jet stream doesn't look like it's flattening out anytime soon. More storms possible. More cold air. This is shaping up to be an active final 2 weeks of January. One thing I want to emphasize, this is not hype. This is not sensationalism. The data supports a significant pattern change. The National Weather Service will issue winter storm watches within the next 24 to 48 hours. When those come out, pay attention to them. At the same time, this is winter. This is what winter does in the United States during January. If you lived through the blizzard of '93, you've seen worse. If you remember the winters of the '70s, you know what real cold feels like. This is significant, but it's not unprecedented. For updates, I'll have new information tomorrow as the models come into better agreement on that second storm track. That is the key question right now. Does it go Tennessee or does it go coastal? Thursday's models should give us a clearer picture. The first storm, the Wednesday system that S locked in, 6 to 12 inches Midwest and Great Lakes, 4 to 8 interior Northeast. High confidence on that one. The second storm, Friday system, still has question marks, but prepare for it anyway. Better to be ready and have it miss than to be caught off guard. Check the National Weather Service website for your specific area, weather.gov. Put in your zip code. They'll have detailed forecasts updated multiple times daily. If you were in an area that rarely sees snow, remember, even small amounts cause major problems when nobody has the equipment to deal with it. 2 inches in Atlanta creates more issues than 12 inches in Buffalo. Plan accordingly. I'll be back tomorrow with an update once we see tonight's model runs. The European model runs at 6 a.m. Eastern. The GFS runs throughout the day. By tomorrow afternoon, we should have much better clarity on that Friday storm track. Stay safe this week. This is legitimate winter weather. Treat it with respect, but don't panic. UV handle